It was funny. I mean, I think this is the second time in a row I've talked about a film that feels like nothing happens in the movie. But anyway, this is for Omega Bear. Thank you for the request for this, and for anyone interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, or full playthrough, tier list, ranking, whatever the case may be. Feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And this is for The Boogeyman from 2023. What's funny, I know a friend of mine, Michael Keane, he did like an hour-long rant on this. And I'm impressed because I'm sitting there going, he found an hour worth of shit to talk about with this movie? I know I've seen his review once when it was probably 2 years ago he reviewed this. I did not rewatch it yet because I didn't want to like steal stuff from him. I'll rewatch it after I do this review. But yeah, The Boogeyman, I'm sitting there going, it sucks, but it's just such a generic, run-of-the-mill bore fest that you've seen done dozens and dozens and dozens of times. That there's nothing to it. It's based on a Stephen King story, short story. I never read it. Although, to be honest, Stephen King stuff to read, I don't really care for. Mostly, I prefer the movies that are based on his work. Like the Shining movie, I prefer over the stuff, bits I read in the book. Stephen King's Graveyard Shift, I prefer over the short story. I like the movie a lot more. The Running Man, I like the movie more. You know, so on and so forth. And also, I can't blame him. I can't blame them for this because that's what the title of the short story was. But The Boogeyman itself is such a generic name for a horror movie. I mean, there was the Uli Lamel film from the 80s called The Boogeyman. There was one from, 2005 called Boogeyman, which I guarantee you most people had this DVD or saw this DVD. Like when you went to a store that sold DVDs, used DVDs. I guarantee you back to the day you saw the cover where it was the door and the hand. It's Boogeyman. Produced by Sam Raimi. Produced by the one who directed, or for the producers of The Grudge, or whatever the hell it said. Because I think it was, produced by Sam Raimi or something. Which that one I could watch, but it is a generic movie. This one I felt was even more generic. The setup of the film is after you have a scene where a kid is killed, where the camera kind of goes around the circle of this kid who's crying. There's a voice, and you see blood splatter, and then you cut to our main characters, where there's these two daughters. The older daughter is the star, and it's Sophie Thatcher, which she was in Companion that came out this year, which I liked. I liked Companion. But before that, she was in this. She's really the star as the older sister. There's a younger sister, and then there's their dad, who's a therapist. The mom has died, and they're trying to deal with that loss. So the two kids are trying to deal with going to school. The older daughter, there are people at school that mess with her, saying she should get over the death of her mom already. The younger sister, she has terrors. She's afraid of the dark, among other stuff. And the dad, for some reason, does his therapy work at home, which I thought was really stupid. Like, why are you doing your therapy shit at home? Just think about that. If you're a therapist and you may have some fucked up people because they're coming to you because they are fucked up. So if they're fucked up from sex, violence, mental case, whatever the case may be, do you think they should know where you live and your kids live? So yeah, him having his therapist's office in his home, I'm sitting there going, again, are you asking to get killed? Are you asking for one of these nutcases to come find and murder your kids? Because you can have 50 of them and it just takes one. Like that fucking thing in Patch Adams. Everyone could come to this one house, and then the one guy went crazy and killed Patch Adams' woman. And I'm like, yeah, Patch Adams is guilty. He shouldn't be a doctor anymore. Fuck Patch Adams. Not the actual person, real. I'm talking about the character. Because I don't like the movie Patch. I do not like that Robin Williams. I like a lot of Robin Williams films. Patch Adams is not one of them. And that's why I'm like, they're right. He doesn't deserve to be a fucking doctor. He's too stupid. Just like this guy doesn't need therapy. He's too fucking stupid. Yeah, bring the nutcases to where you fucking live and your kids live. That makes a lot of fucking sense. So, one guy comes in. His name is Lester. He was the guy who was the father of the kid that died at the beginning, I believe. Well, he says that he's had a couple of kids and they've all died. I recognize the actor who played Lester. He was Polka Dot Man in the last Suicide Squad film. He was also the star of that film, Late Night with the Devil. Which I thought was okay. I thought it was flawed, though, but I thought it was okay. I never see it again, but, there's aspects I liked, including his performance, but I don't remember the guy's name because I'm bad with names, but his character's name is Lester. He comes in and talks to the therapist. One thing leads to another. The therapist knows this guy may be out of it, sneaks by, calls the cops. His older daughter has gotten home. And again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is such a dumb decision. You think this guy might have killed someone, now he's running around your fucking house and your oldest daughter's come in and you haven't stopped her yet. What if he was a killer and as soon as she went through the door, throat slit, stab, whatever, you will lost a kid there, therapist, you dumb fuck. So one thing leads to another, and they find the guy, Lester, and it looks like he's hung himself in their closet or wherever the hell it was. Then the rest of the film is some of the most generic, basic scares that you've seen done a dozen upon a dozen times of this ilk. Whether it be there's something under the bed, and then there's light, and then a loud sound, pew, and quickly scurries away, which in this case was the creature. So, there's something under the bed, and quick, jump scare, loud sound to try to go, ooh. The little girl's saying she saw a monster and nobody believes her. The adult being fucking useless. Like films like this, the adults are usually fucking useless. And the therapist guy is pretty much useless for most of the movie. This little girl has something to do with her tooth. So the older, I'm going to call her Sophie because I don't remember her character name, but Sophie Thatcher, the older daughter, she was, like I said, in companion. Sophie says, hey, let me do this. Put the string and put the other string on your tooth. But then she decides not to do it. She's standing like 2-3 feet away from the door. The girl is looking at the door, the little girl. The door slams by itself, yanks the tooth, and he's like, you sit on 3. What you doing? You sit on 3. I'm sitting there going, you little fucking turd. Did you not see in front of you the fucking door slam by itself? It slammed by its fucking self. How the fuck did you not see that? It slammed by itself. You're right in front of it. She was not touching the door, near the door. It went whew, and yanked your tooth out. How do you not see that when it's right in front of you? And you're the one that believes in the monsters are here. So what the fuck? There's another stairs scene where the two kids are at a different therapist because they're dead too shitty to be one for them. And she has this thing, I don't know if this is a thing therapists do, but she has this red light and it'll slowly keep blink and go dark light until it's complete darkness. And as this is happening, only the little girl sees the monster. Nobody else does. Then it goes dark, then they snap out of it, and then when they look at her, she's pissed her pants. Sophie, the older girl, finds this tape recorder that the dad had about Lester. I don't know why the cops don't have that. I know there's a therapist, patient confidentiality, but the fact that he was a potential danger to yourself and obviously a potential danger to himself, so you would think, says he's dead, that's kind of null and void, and we need that for evidence, but apparently, whatever. Maybe there's something I don't know about therapists that this dude is keeping the fucking tape recorder. I don't know. Also, 2023 and a doctor's using a tape recorder? I just would have thought it'd be something else than a tape recorder. That's just me, though. Just if it works, it works. And they're seeing the creature over here, over there, crappy jump scares. Until the Sophie gets the idea to go see Lester's wife. But she would be the only one of that family still alive. And the woman's like this seemingly nut. Well, she is a nut. Shotgun toting bitch. Who scares the Sophie out of there. Then there's a bit where Sophie and some people at school are having a sleepover, and Sophie's choking, and then this stuff appears, she pulls it out, and then pulls the tooth out. That was from before. There's so many movies that have done that shit, where it's an evil entity, evil haunted stuff, and someone pukes up something. Was the Haunting in Connecticut too? There were other stuff where people like cough stuff up. Oh my god. Because the entity put it there to be a fucking troll, to be a dick, to fuck with you, to fuck with your head. Like, that seems so typical that I've seen that done dozens of fucking times. And why is it that so many kids, when they need help, they don't scream for help? The little kid at the beginning screams, but there's other thing. No one comes in to see that kid. So this kid screamed all this point in that room, and nobody came to check on the kid. Or the little girl's like, "Oh please, please, Dad, please, Sophie," whatever her sister's name starts with an S. "Please help me, please, please." She never says that. Why does the little girl never fucking say that? I don't know. Well, she probably doesn't scream for her dad because her dad's fucking useless. So one thing leads to another. The little girl is thrown against the TV, put into the hospital. The dad sees her at the hospital, but again, he's fucking useless. And the lead, Sophie, decides to try to do something, but she gets caught and used as bait by that crazy bitch with the shotgun, Rita. I'm going to use you as bait to kill this creature. So the creature comes by, this trap hits, it's a little bit of explosive nature. Shoots her a few times with the shotgun, but it doesn't matter because the creature kills her. And she has the gall to say, Reed, please help, please help. I'm like, bitch, you tied her up. You tied the little girl up. You tied Sophie up. She can't do anything tied up. What's she supposed to do? Give you signals with her eyelids? You tied her up. Now you ask her for help. Bit counterintuitive, isn't it? And the creature, when you do see it, it looks like a fucking anorexic Ally McBeal style golem. It looks so skinny. And on top of that, it's like you have like a golem eyes and then some little tendrils, little things for its where its mouth is supposed to be. It looks so fucking cheap. It looks so terrible. It looks goofball horseshit. Eventually, she finds out that her dad and younger sister went home and got caught. She wants to help them. She finds the little girl at the basement. Not in the basement. She finds her in a room. She's safe because I guess lights hurt the boogeyman. And they both go down, help their dad, and they deal with this thing with a little bit of a lighter, and one has an aerosol can. They burn the fucker. Again, terrible CGI. Looks like shit. They use more of the aerial spray, lighter flamethrower thing, and now it's time for them to get the fuck out. That's really the plot of the film. And then it tries to have a sequel bait, but not really. Where it seems like there's something amiss with this open door, and then she closes it as her family leaves, and then has some fucking, I don't know, rock song? Where I don't know what song that was. I mean, it's so fucking generic. It's so fucking dull, man. That I'm literally falling asleep as I do the review. Literally, I'm ready to do this for the review. I'm seriously. That's why my eyelids are literally failing me at this point. I look like the fucking dog Droopy. Remember him back in the day? Going down, sir. You know, Roger Rabbit. Yes, sir. How far can my eyes fucking droop? Just nothing exciting. There's not even like excitingly shitty thing. That's why I'm so impressed that my friend Michael found an hour. Because I'm sitting there going, struggling. What is there to fucking talk about? The characters are so one note. You've seen these type of characters so many times before. The two siblings, the parent that's useless, and the entity. And then there's some family tragedy you gotta deal with. Hell, fucking Pet Sematary 2. You had Edward Furlong and the dad. And there was no sibling, but there was the new friend that he found. And they kind of acted like siblings. Oh, the tragic death of Edward Furlong's mom. I don't know why Pet Sematary 2 came to mind, because I think that's a better movie than this. I really do. But the common tropes that you've seen, the common tropes after tropes after tropes, cheap jump scares, lack of innovation, lack of creativity. The monster is goofy looking, silly looking. And the plot, the actual story. I sit there and go, what was about this fucking story that had to be made to a film other than Stephen King's name? And I think that's the only thing, because they had to make everything that deals with Stephen King. They did, was The Monkey? I think that was one. They did The Long Walk. They're doing another reboot of The Running, or a reboot, I should say, of The Running Man. So The Running Man, The Long Walk, The Monkey, this film. You had those Stephen King's It films. And It Part 2. You had the Pet Sematary 1. Apparently they're also doing Cujo. My God, man. Not every Stephen King story needs to be a fucking film. And this didn't have the charm that, say, Stephen King's Graveyard. And that's the thing, Stephen King splooged over this fucking movie. Of course he did, because I think he's a crackhead nowadays. At least back to the day he was a cokehead and he would make good stuff like Maximum Overdrive. Nowadays he's just a crackhead. Drop the crack and go back to coke. Maybe that would help. But, oh, this is so great, such an amazing, such a fantastic movie. Listen, if you like the film, that's fine. But I don't see Stephen King. What's so goddamn amazing about this film? But you shit on Hey, you know what? I got over there. I should have brought it. Graveyard Shift from 1990, another film based on a Stephen King short story, has interesting characters. Fucking Brad Dourif alone as the rat exterminator. Warwick, that's a villain you love to hate. When's the last time I've been to a graveyard? Bravo! We gotta teach you a Star Search. You have a cool looking monster, like a bat, rat type of creature. That is done practical. It looks a lot fucking cooler than this. That to me had more rich atmosphere, a creepier musical score. And it's a slow pace. You just say you're building up, and there's not a ton of death scenes. More so than in this fucking movie, though. and I think it paid off at the end. This didn't. But you want to shit on that movie, Stephen King, but praise this. That's your prerogative. It's just like my prerogative to disagree with that prerogative. But yeah, no one remembers this film. No one's going to remember this film. This film is never going to be remembered ever again. Except by some random person finding it and then maybe talking about it on a YouTube video. Again, just by the numbers, run of the mill. Shit. Not even like, oh, it's okay. No, it's just lame. It's lazy. Sophie Thatcher, okay, I will say that I think Sophie Thatcher and the little girl, they did what they could with these characters. Their performances were fine. The dad was there. I didn't give a shit about the character, but I don't know if that's really the actor's fault. It's the way the character's written. I mean, if it was a better written character, the guy who played Lester, the polka dot man, I actually would have preferred him as the dad. But he just had to be written a bit better. A bit more focus. Because again, it's more focus on the older daughter. But yeah, I'm just going... God, who gives a fuck? Run-of-the-mill, generic... I got nothing else. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.